semester. This is my video presentation for Geology. Unit 2.A Kingdom Protista, the Protozoans. Objectives. Number 1. To learn the characteristic of protozoans. Number 2. To appreciate the role of protozoans to other organisms. Number 3. To determine the species of protozoans that are causative agents of diseases to humans and other vertebrates. General characteristics of protozoans: unicellular, solitary, and some colonial. Eukaryotic, mostly microscopic. Shape and symmetry variable. No germ layer. No organs and tissues. Free living mutualism. Commensalism, parasitism. Locomotory organelles. Pseudopodia, flagella, cilia. Nutrition, all types. Autotrophic, heterotrophic, saprozoic. Reproduction, asexual by fission, budding and sites. Sexual by conjugation. Reproduction, sexual, union of male and female gametes. Asexual, binary fission. Schizogony, sporogony. Encystment and excisement. Cysts are form of dominant stage to survive the harsh conditions. Binary fission. 2.A Number 1. Phylum Euglenozoa. Possess flagella, formerly under Sarcomastigophora. Phylum Kinetoplasta, with unique organelle, the kinetoplast, modified mitochondrion. All parasites. Disease caused by euglenozoans. Chagas disease. Causative agent, Trypanosoma cruzi, Victor kissing bugs. 16 to 18 million persons infected in Central and South America. Transmission by infected kissing bugs and blood transfusions. Kissing bugs hide in cracks in walls of houses during the day. Feed at night. Feeding bugs defecate at the feces containing trypanosomes are rubbed into bite or mucous membranes. Trypanosomes invade blood. Acute stage seen mainly in children includes local inflammations at site of invasions. Chronic Chagas disease develops 10 to 20 years later, resulting to enlargement of the spleen and liver. Irreversible damage to heart and colon. There is no effective treatment. Death due to heart failure is most common. African sleeping sickness. Causative agent, Trypanosoma brucei, Victor, tsetse fly glossina. Common in Western and Central Africa. Chronic disease that could last for years. Reservoirs infected wild animals and humans. Stages of infections. Early, fever, weakness, headache, joint. Intermediate, anemia, cardiovascular, endocrine, and kidney disorders. Late, CNS involvement, indifference to environment, unpredictable mood changes, coma, and death. 50 to 70% of inhabitants of some villages may be infected. Leishmaniasis, causative agent, Leishmania, vector, sandfly pibotamus. Cutaneous leishmaniasis, parasites cause skin ulcers. As many as 20 lesions may form, causing disability and social stigma. Mucocutaneous leishmaniasis occur in Central and South Africa, destroys mucous membranes and mouth. Visceral leishmaniasis primarily occurs in Africa and Asia, characterized by irregular fever, weight loss, swelling of spleen and liver, and anemia. Fatality can be 90% of untreated. 2.A number 2. Phylum Axostylata, characterized by a root along the longitudinal axis called axostyle that is associated with a flagella. Class Parabasalia. Example, Trichonympa, symbiont in the gut of termites. Tri, tri, Trichomonas causes trichomoniasis, a sexually transmitted disease STD characterized by vaginitis. 2.A number 3. Phylum Retortamonada. Class Diplomondia. Lack mitochondria and Golgi bodies. Commensal and parasites. Example, Giardia. Cause giardiasis, also known as backpacker's disease and beaver fever. Inhabits in the intestines of several animals and man, acquired by drinking water with cysts, result in stomach cramping and diarrhea. 2.A number 4. Phylum Ciliopora ciliatis. Arrangements of cilia varies the phylum. Most free-living, some commensal and parasitic. The most structurally complex of all protozoans, wide range of specialization, always multinucleate, possessing at least one macronucleus and one micronucleus. Macronuclei are responsible for metabolic and development functions and for maintaining all visible traits such as follicular apparatus. Micronuclei participates in sexual reproduction. Example, verticilia. Spiral stalk attached to substrate. Cilia used to sweep food into mouth, seek arrow. Example, stentor. Solitary. Use cilia to sweep food into mouth. Example, dinium. With bands of cilia, its paramecium. 2.A number 5. Phylum Dinoflagellata. Some autotrophic while others are heterotrophic. Commonly with two flagella, one equatorial flagellum and one longitudinal flagellum. Body may be armored with cellulose plate or naked without cellulose plate. Boom or high density can cause red tide that produce neurotoxin. Example, Symbiodinium susantili. Photosynthesis dinoflagellates brown. Live as symbionts in coral polyps. Provide nutrients for coral by photosynthesis. 2.A number 6. Phylum Apicomplex. Locomotory organelles less obvious. Pseudopia occur in some stages and gametes of some are flagellated. Tiny contractile fibers form waves of construction across body surface to propel organism through a liquid medium. Example, Toxoplasma gondii. Can cause toxoplasmosis, parasites of cats, man, other mammals, and birds. Life cycle of Toxoplasma, parasite of cats but have extra intestinal stages as well. When rodent cattle shape humans, bird and other mammals ingest sprozotites, rapid asexual reproduction in various tissues takes place. Human infection is by consumption of insufficiently cooked meat. In human, it causes little or no ill effect except in AIDS patients or pregnant women, leading to mental retardation of the baby. Malaria. Causative agents Plasmodium vivax, P. malariae, P. ovale, and P. falciparum most widespread and most dangerous. Causes cerebral malaria. Vector mosquito of genus Anopheles 60 species. Characterized by chills, fever, and in most coma leading to the infectious stage. Protozoitis of Plasmodium. Stages of infection. Number 1. Mosquito feeds on blood of infection host and ingests gametocytes. Number 2. Gametes unite in mosquito stomach to form oocytes in wall of stomach. Number 3. Sporocytes produced in oocytes by spugini move to salivary of mosquito and other injected into host. Sporozoites invade liver cells and undergo trizogony to produce merozoites. Merozoites rupture RBCs to invade other RBCs. Each merozoite produces as many as 36 new merocytes through schizogony in RBCs. 7. Merocytes rupture RBC to invade other RBCs. Number 8. Gametocytes are produced in blood and ingested by a mosquito to complete the cycle. Life cycle of Plasmodium, causative agent of malaria. In man, spogotites from mosquito bites down to spogotites to liver, down to stigony to make monocytes, down to merocytes either RBC, down to stigony to make merocytes. Merocytes become gametocytes. In mosquito, ingest gametocytes down to fertilization in stomach, down to oocytes forms, down to sprotozoites by sprogeny, down to sprotozoites invade salivary gland, and down to bites man. Formerly under Sarcodina, classification is still in flux as researchers try to combine morphological characteristics like shape of spodopodia or of mitochondrial crystal with molecular data such as protein sequence. Shape of pseudopia used to classification. Found in aquatic and moist environments, few are parasitic in Thamasutica. Most reproduce by binary fission, some by sporulations and budding. Holozoic take in food by phagocytosis. Bahistolytica, most important rhizopodan parasite in human, lives in the large intestine but can invade intestinal wall, can cause fatal amoebic dysentery. The organism can be carried by blood to the liver and other organs and cause abscess there. Cysts pass through feces. Infections transmitted by contaminated water or food containing cysts. For foraminiferans, characterized by a type of pseudopodia called reticulopodia, test or shield made of calcium carbonate which sank and accumulates into the ocean floor, forming ooze and indicator of oil deposit. Shield made excellent fossil records, numerous geometric designs. Radiolarians, marine testate amoebas with oxopod pseudopodia, siliceous test or shield, form lesions ooze. Fossil radiolarians important to all geologists. Unit 2.b Kingdom Animalia. A. Parazoa. Phylum Porifera. B. Eumetazoa radiata. Phylum Cridaria. Phylum Ctenophora. Bilateral accumulates. Phylum Platyhelminths. Bilateral pseudoculuments. Bilateral columate. Protostomia. Phylum Annelida. Phylum Mollusca. Phylum Arthropoda. Deuterostomia. Phylum Echinodermata. Phylum Chordata. 2.b Number 1. Phylum Porifera. Sponge. A multicellular organisms. Body with pores, ostia, canals, and chambers that serve for passage water. Most are marine, all are aquatic. Symmetry is radial or none. Skeletal structure of fibrillar collagen or protein and calcareous of siliceous crystalline. Spicules often combined with variously modified collagen spongin. No organs or true tissues. Excretions and digestions by diffusion. All adults are sessile. Asexual reproduction by buds and germules and sexual reproduction by eggs and sperm. Have free-swimming ciliated larvae. Types of canal system in sponge. Number 1, asconoid. Number 2, ciconoid. Number 3, liconoid. Types of cells in sponge body. 1. Sponge cells are loosely arranged in gelatinous matrix called mesohyl or mesoglia or mesenchyme. Number 2, mesohyl is equivalent to connective tissues and in it are found fibrils, skeletal elements, and aneuploid cells. Conocytes, line canals and chambers. Bears flagellum surrounded by a collar. Collar is made up of microvilli and microbrutes that form a fine filtering device to strain food from the water. Beating of flagella falls water through the sieve-like collar. Food eagle feed with flagellate cells are passed to archaeotes for intracellular digestion. Archaeocytes, amoeboid cells that move around in the mesohyl and carry out a number of functions such as canpaucytes, particles from pinacoderm and sinusitis, totipotent example, can differentiate into any other specialized cell types like number 1, sclerocytes, secrete spicules, spongionitis, secrete spongid fibers of skeleton, cholangitis and leukocytes, secrete collagen, pinacocytes, the nearest approach to a true tissue in sponge, arranged to form pinocoderm, the thin flag epithelial type cells that cover interior surface of the sponge, may take up food particles through phagocytosis at the sponge surface, somewhat contractile and help reduce surface area of sponge. Myositis, modified pinacocytes that help regulate water from uh, in ostia and oscula. Sponge skeletal materials. Two types of skeletal materials support the cells of sponge. Number 1, spicules, needle-like structure composed of either calcium carbonate or silica and offer support and protection. 2, sponginess, a fibrous protein that provides support and electricity. Commercial sponge are composed of spongin. Class Calcarea, calcareous sponge. Spicules are composed of calcium carbonate. Spicules are straight, small, 10 cm or less in height. Maybe asconoid, ciconoid, or leuconoid. All are marine. Example, leucosolenial or skipand, second or granthia. Class Hexapinellida, glass sponge. Nearly all are deep sea inhabitants, with vase of funnel-shaped body attached by root or stalk spicules to the substrate. Skeleton is made up of 6 raised skeleton spicules that are bound together into a network, forming glass-like structure. All are marine. Example, Eulictelia. Class Demospongi compose 95% of living sponge species, including most large sponge. Spicules are silicous but not six-rate. Spicules may be with spongin. Some like bat sponges have skeleton that do not have siliceous spicules but only spongin. All are leuconoid. One family is found in fish water, all other are marine. 2.b number 2, phylum Cnidaria, rigid animals. General characteristics. Entirely aquatic, most are marine. Exhibit radial symmetry, no definite head, nerve cells arranged in a nerve net, with two basic body forms. Number 1 is polyps, number 2 is medusae. Two germ layers. Number 1, epidermis, outer covering, ectoderm. Number 2, gastrodermis, lines gastrovascular cavity. Dimorphism and polymorphism is Sagittarians. 2. Morphological types. Polyp, hydroid form, sedentary or sessile. Medusa, jellyfish form, floating or free swimming. Morphological types based on functions. Hydrant o ganoidium, reproductive polyp. Nidocytes made cnidarians effective and efficient predators. Born in the invaginations of octodermal cells and gastrodermal cells in some forms. Each cnidocyte produces one of more than 20 kinds of distinctive organelle called cnidae. One type of nidie is the nematocytes, used to inject toxin to capture prey and defense. Nematocytes are tiny capsules composed of chitinous material containing a coiled thread. Class Hydrozoa, freshwater and marine. Nidocytis presents only a epidermis, medusa, with a muscular velum. Mesoglea without amboid cells. Asexual reproduction is done by budding. Sexual reproduction is via gametes reproduced by the epidermis and released into water. Class Hydrozoa colonial in the form that undergo the sexual polyp and sexual medusa stages. Most are marine, but a common specimen used is Hydra, a freshwater inhabitant with no medusa stage. Class Cyphozoan jellyfish. Tentacles up to 70 meters in length. Cridocytes present in gastrodermis and epidermis. Fake mesoglea contains amboid cells, gametes produced by gastrodermis. All are marine, no velum. Class Cubozoa. Medusa form in dominant and cube shape. Tentacles are raised at 4 comes from blade-like pedalium. All marine. Has valerium. They are strong swimmers which prey primarily on fish. Sitting on some may be fatal and can cause death within minutes to humans. Example, Crinocyxor sea wasp. Class Amptozoa corals sea anemone sea fawn. No medusa stage. Solitary or colonial. Some produce protective skeletons. Gastrovascular cavity cells divided by at least 8 mesenteries. Neurocytes on mesenteries. Mesoglea contains amoeboid cells. All are marine. Corals, protective skeletons of calcium carbonate. In most species, polyp retracts with not filling thus the stone-like appearance. Colories are formed by interconnected polyps. Has photosynthesis dinoflagellates as their symbiont provide nutrients to the coral by photosynthesis. Coral reefs form over thousands of years from successive layers of coral skeleton deposits. The underwater equivalent of the Amazon jungle very high species diversity and biomass types of worms we've not discussed, not to mention bryozoans, ctenophores, protist, bacteria, or etc. Serve as feeding, breeding, and nurseries grounds of variety of fish and invertebrate species, threatened by destructive means of fishing like dynamite fishing, poison or cyanide fishing, moroami. 2.b Number 3 Phylum Platyhelminths flatworms. General characteristic: dorsoventrally flattened, triploblastic, aculoomate, bilateral symmetry, most monoecious, some dioecious. Digestive system is incomplete with tiered lateral nerve cords and cerebral ganglion. Cluster Bellaria, mostly free-living. Body is soft and flattened. Mouth usually located ventrally, sometimes near the center. Most are hermaphrodites, but some undergo asexual fission. Has eye spots and ciliated body surface. Capability of regeneration owing to the neoblast. Class Trematodo digenetic flux. Body is like leaf-like or cylindrical in shape, usually with oral and ventral sucker but no books. Most are monoecious, Fourth host, usually mollusk. Final host, adult stage, is usually vertebrate. They are parasitic in all classes of vertebrates. Liver fluke with oral and ventral suckers. Hermaphroditic. Clonus sinensis, human liver fluke. Fasciola hepatica shaped liver fluke. Paragonimous with Stirmani lung fluke. Affects carnivores, pigs, rodents, and man. May be fetal. Schistosoma is blood flux that cause schistosomiasis. Three species infect humans: Mansoni, S. japonicum, S. Haematolobium. Dioecious males are broader and heavier with large ventral groove. The genitoric canal with which lodges the long, slender female. Symptoms of schistosomiasis: rash or itchy skin develops phase after infection. Fever, chill, cough, and muscles aches begins within 1 to 2 months of infections. How are you going to prevent schistosomiasis? Class Monogenia has only one host throughout its life cycle. Ectoparasites. Host is mainly fish. Process of structure used for attach to host. Class Cystodia, also known as tapeworms, can reach up to 40 long, have long flat bodies in which there is linear series of seats of reproductive organs. Each seat is called proglottid. Unlike other flatworms, tapeworms have no digestion system. Nearly all and monoecious. One of specialized structure is the scolex or holdfast used as organ for attached to the host. Scolex usually have suckers and often which hooks on spiny tentacles. Mostly requires two hosts for life cycle to be completed. Adult are parasites of the digestive tract of vertebrates. Tania sanguinata beef tapeworm. Adults live in human intestine. Juveniles are found in muscle tissues of cattle. May reach up to 10 meters or more. Scolex with four suckers from attachment in the intestinal wall but no hooks can reach up to 2,000 proglottids. Gravid proglottids bear scheduled infection larvae will become detached and pass in the feces. Tynosurium form. Adults live in small intestine of humans. Juveniles occur in the muscles of the pig. Equipped with scolex has both suckers and hook arends in its restoration. Humans get infected by eating insufficient cooked food, more dangerous than cysticerci, and adults are cannibal in human. If eggs or proglomatids are indigested by human, liberated embryo migrate to either of several organs and form cysticerci. Cause of condition called cysticercosis. Common sites of infections are eyes and brain, resulting to blindness, serious neurological symptoms, or death.